Hello, everybody. This is Mark Blanton of the Real South Africa Travel and Tourism. And then, of course, we have over there
Dr. Latasha Blanton, the Real South Africa Travel and Tourism.
absolutely, absolutely. I hope everybody is doing well. We're okay over here. It's tough being in South Africa. It's tough.
So hard.
Oh my God, I cannot explain it to you. We've been getting a lot of calls asking about us. Y'all okay over there? I've been hearing things and all of that. So what we're going to do is get everybody on board because a lot of people are trying to get on board and you know have a conversation. We're going to talk. We're going to have a good time today. Obviously, we're going to be having conversations with Tawani Price. I'm sure you guys have heard of her. She's very famous down in Cape Town.
She is. She's the owner of Zuri Wine Tastings, and she has some amazing tours and a lot of things going on that we're going to discuss in a little bit. But right now, we're just going to play a little catch up.
Yeah, it's been a lot going on over here. Obviously, you guys, believe it or not, um, we do get the news. A lot of it doesn't affect us, a lot of it, but some of it does. And every once in a while, we hear South Africa this and South Africa that. And the funny part about it is nothing has really changed here. I know people want to think that things are changing here because you know, the U.S. says this and the U.S. says that. And I will say that most people here in South Africa they listen to it, they see it, and they're like, Psh, you know, we're South Africans. We're going to do what we're going to do. So we really have been enjoying ourselves. And the only reason I said people keep calling us because it's in the news, and we're probably the only people that they know, besides Twani, of course, because she's famous down there in Cape Town. And she's very famous, y'all. I'm trying to tell you.
She is.
Yeah. Like famous, like
famous.
real famous, like celebrity level.
Yeah, famous.
Yeah. And she gave me some news earlier, just before we came on the live and so forth. But yeah, it's a lot going on here in South Africa. Like I said, it's an amazing place, and I'm glad you guys are just coming on board. I see there's already 11 people. I mean, I literally just turned it on, and 11 people popped up. We are expecting roughly, I would say, roughly about, I don't know, 80, 90, 100 people to be on here at one time. I'm sure throughout the time that we're on, there'll be a lot more. So let everybody know that we're here, and I know there's a lot of questions about South Africa. We get a lot of questions from way back, like, what about load shedding?
I'm like, are you serious? Are we still talking about load shedding? Yeah.
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 And then I have to remind people that we are a travel and tourism company,
Yeah.
A luxury company as well. Let me just kind of explain that to you. Let me tell you what that means. Normally, when, like, for example, us people who look like us, we travel, but we kind of go into the spaces that, okay, maybe this might work for us, this might work for us. But here in South Africa, the places that you want to go are amazing, and they're for us. They're for us. So we just have to literally show up. That's literally all that we have to do. And once we show up and we start showing up, you start getting used to these nice things. And so that's why we bring so many people here, because they leave and they're like, this experience was amazing, and then they come back and then they're like, oh my God, can you show me more? Is there more? And they're like, yeah. So what do you think, Tasha?
I think that when we are showing them that South Africa has so much to offer, it's almost like mind blowing because they think they're going to get this when they get here. And then they get here and they get this, and their mind is like, this is absolutely amazing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they don't really know that they can experience that. And then when they do, they're like, is this for me? Is this for me? I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's all of it's right here in front of you for
Yeah.
you. And when we put our packages together, we put you in front of those things that we believe you deserve. And even if you don't think you're ready for it, oh, I don't need all that. Just go ahead and go ahead and take it and accept that someone is
Yeah.
looking out for you.
We're taking care of you.
Just make sure we're looking out for
Yeah.
you and taking care of you. And just go ahead and accept it. Be taken care of for a little while. I know that's hard for some of us out there that just can't let our guards down and be taken care of. But if you allow us to do that, I promise you, you will not regret it.
Exactly. So before we get too deep into this, I got 20 people in here in the group. So I'm just saying thank you guys for showing up. We really appreciate you guys and and supporting what we do. I will say to you this before I go to a quick video I really want you guys to watch. I will tell you this, that as far as the diasporan is concerned, the African diaspora, and especially those in the U.S., like I said, there's not really anybody out there looking for us as far as or looking out for us on this front. And so since we've been here, we've been really wanting to build an infrastructure that we see other people enjoying here in South Africa, and we've been building it pretty well. We're noticed. Obviously, we get we do interviews locally. We do. I think I've done TV a few times. I try to lay low simply because I just want to lay low. I'm here enjoying myself as well, and I don't want to be every time I turn around. Hey, can you come to the studio? So I do certain things, and then I put other people's in places to do other things. So in short, what I'm trying to say is, you know, supporting, us is supporting yourself, especially if you're looking at trying to be in South Africa full time at some point. I can't tell you that that's what's going to happen, but I can almost tell you once you come here, it might take you an extended period of time like us, but you're coming. So before we get going, let me show you this. What does it say? It's no sound. All right, guys. This is this is what we do. We're the Real South Africa Travel and Tourism. So, like again, welcome to our channel. Of course, let everybody know that hey, South Africa is open for business, and it's an amazing option. And the good part about it is, we're not the only ones that are living here in South Africa full time. A lot of people have found South Africa to be an amazing thing, and it's once you find it. And I'm going to say it like this, and I'll get your take, Tasha. Once you find it, then you're like, oh my God, everybody should know. Everybody should know. So, I can give you a tidbit. For example, people that came on the last real estate tour, some of them are already on their way back. They were just here last November. Some of them from the first real estate tour have just moved here. Some people from the second real estate tour. So if you know, I'm talking about all these real estate tours that you've been missing, but they have moved here. Some of them have bought property. They're transacting. They're doing all their things, and they're doing it all right here in the Republic of South Africa, simply because it's allowed to be done. Keep in mind, this is a whole country. I'm just going to tell you, it's a whole country, and it's not Ghana. It's not Tanzania. It's not Togo. It's not Angola.
It's its own sovereign country.
Hmm.
And when you realize that, yeah, it's on the continent, but you can't say this is Ghana, this is South Africa, and then put that on top of that. That's not that. that puzzle's not gonna ever fit together.
Yeah,
Not ever.
yeah. So just understand that. So when you're having these conversations in your small groups talking about Africa, because a lot of us are talking about Africa, I'm going to tell you right now, people get a lot of misinformation is wrong, simply because every country on the continent operates differently. They just do. Okay. And with that being said, from the lifestyles, the way of life, they have different governments. They operate differently. So when we bring people here and they get an opportunity to see it for themselves, then they're like, oh, okay, now I understand. But truth is, they come across the line, and they're literally talking about, well, I heard this. Well, what about that? Well, what about this? And they're literally talking about different nations,
Yes.
and they don't even realize that they think they're talking about South Africa. So we run into that a lot, because keep in mind that we get a lot of phone calls.
A lot,
Yeah,
a lot of puzzles.
what are people saying?
I mean, people for some reason are in a frenzy and they're going back to questions that we were asked, 6 years ago,
Yeah,
because now they're all worked up about what's happening and they're trying to make hasty decisions. And I'm saying that what they want to know can only be confirmed or seen once they get it. So there's not very many things I'm going to be able to um, give you answers to, because most of the answers that you get are once you get here. Um, so yeah, so I get all the questions from
yeah.
load shedding to crime to what's it like to live there to how soon can I move, how much money do I need to move, and to me, all of that is putting the cart before the horse, because as we always say, you need to build a relationship, and you need to do that by having your first visit to South Africa.
Exactly, exactly. But people are finding their way, especially the ones that come with us. They find their way. They understand that, learning the culture, understanding the people, making friends, things along that line really, really matters. And, coming here with sight unseen, not knowing anybody, not understanding how things work, makes it very difficult.
Yes.
And of course, you guys heard all that, but what you also have heard is that it's best just to come on a tour. That's all I can tell you. And so, since we're here in South Africa, looking out for those that are underserved, I'm going to say underserved, because we're actually looking out for you guys. We put you in the best possible position. So when you say, okay, I want to come to South Africa, but then I want to do this, and you honestly, a lot of the times, if you've never been here, you really don't know.
Yeah, you don't have a reference point.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I'm just gonna give you an example of you don't have a reference point, and this is not to offend anybody, but you can't say you want to go to Cape Town for the day.
yeah,
Like it's a 2 hour flight, and you can't just run to Durban. That's another hour flight. So nothing is as close as you think it is. I mean, those are basically all different states or provinces within the actual country. So knowing the lay of the land is things that you get when you come
yeah.
on one of our absolutely amazing tours.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And like I said, have we relocated people here? Of course we
Absolutely.
have. Relocated a lot of people.
And we're not a relocation service,
Yes,
but
but what you think you need, like, I need to know this, I need to know this, I need to know this, I need to know this. It's not what you need. You need to know that later,
yeah,
like later. And trying to do that up front makes it a little difficult, across the board. So make it easy for yourself. Don't spend a lot of time going back and forth in reference to making the mistake, making the mistake, making the mistake, making the mistake. Nobody needs to do that and whatnot. But what we ultimately going to do tonight, guys, we're going to open up the floor as well. So at some point, I'm going to put a link in the comments, and then you can click the link, and then you can come on, and if you have questions, if you're wondering if there was something you always wanted to ask us, you can come on the screen. I'm sure there's other people, that have questions, and don't think your question is silly simply because, how can I say, other people have the same question. So, if you're brave, you want to talk to us here in South Africa, then I would say go ahead and and click that link. But I will put that in there shortly. So what's been happening with us? Well, a lot's been happening. What did you say?
Man, I feel like the last 6 months have been a blur,
Yeah,
and I can't remember the last time we did a live. So I was it
yeah.
this? Did we do one this year?
I don't know,
I don't
but
know
I tell you,
either.
no, I don't think so. But I will tell you this: we did drive to Cape Town from
Yeah.
Johannesburg. That was 15 hours on the road. My sister, as you guys know, has moved here. She's been here. It'll be a year in a few weeks. So she's been here a year. She's
Yay.
acclimating very well. Her and her husband Barry. Barry's acclimating very well. His mother, she is here as well. She absolutely loves South Africa.
Yeah.
She can't rave enough
Yeah.
about how she is finding South Africa and South Africans.
Yeah.
So that really matters. So that's one thing that's happened, recently. And then of course, my daughter Savannah, y'all probably saw a little bit on social. She's here now. She's here full time, and she moved from Dallas, Texas, and she's here in South Africa. She's absolutely, you know, finding her way. She's young. She's 26, and she's finding her way. It takes some time.
It does. It
Yeah,
does. But I've enjoyed the entire process from watching your sister get here to having Savannah get here and watching her grow and acclimate. I mean, she's loved this country since she was 11 or 12. So
yeah,
for her to be here, like even in her mind when I have conversations with her, she's like I know I'm here, but like I can't really believe I'm here kind of thing. So she's enjoying her life, and I'm excited to see what she's going to do with herself as time goes on.
yeah. Because she usually comes for a couple weeks,
Yeah,
and then she goes back.
yeah,
But she's been here roughly what, 6 months?
6 months.
Yeah,
Six
She's
months.
been here 6 months now. So yeah, it's been amazing. So we do have a few people that I just want to recognize. We got I can't really see it,
You got
but
glasses in your
Elizabeth. Oh, I have my glasses in my hand. Elizabeth is here. We appreciate you coming from Rustenburg.
Oh,
Yeah, and then we have Nkasana. Hello, how you doing? Hope everything is well. Hope everything is good where you are and so forth. So yeah. So what else has happened? Anything else good?
well, well, just a few days ago,
Hmm.
he really should be telling this, but I'm super excited.
Yeah.
My other sister-in-law moved here.
Yep.
So now I've got two sister-in-laws here. So my family is expanding.
Yeah.
We've got so much family here. It feels so good in my heart to have his family here with us. It's just been beautiful.
Yeah.
It's been so beautiful. And the fact that they get to go into this next chapter as a clan is
Yeah. The Blantons are here.
Blantons are
And we
here.
are here. So yeah, it's very interesting because you know there was a time they kept asking me, why you keep going to Africa? Why you keep going to Africa? They had no clue. And then they have my oldest sister, Cynthia, who you guys have seen on a few videos, move here. And then I turn around, my sister that's 3 years older than me pops up. And but she came on several visits. I think she came about at least 3 or 4 times,
Mhm.
got her feet up under, gathered, what she should be doing. And then guess what? She decided to move to South Africa. So I'll show you a little quick video on one of our socials. But yeah, so she just showed up as well. So we're really, really excited to have her here. So now is several of us here. And there are others. And so when people are looking at, like, people want to come and they're like, okay, well, I got to bring everyone. The answer is that'd be nice, but there's no need to bring everyone. A lot of times it's that one person that's going to come, and then they're like, man, I hope the other people come. And then one other person
Yeah.
shows up, like on my sister's husband's Barry. Some of his people, outside of his mother, they've been coming back and
Yeah.
forth, creeping,
Yeah.
starting to weigh the pros and cons of being here in South Africa. But a lot of them have been
Yeah.
here several times, and they're starting to see it. So It's an amazing thing that's happening, and it's really good to see. I'm excited about everybody who decides to trust us to say, I'm going to book a trip. I'm going to come to South Africa. I don't know what I'm going to be getting into, but I want to come.
Yes.
And they're like, y'all gonna take care of us? And I'm like, yeah, we got you, we got you. So with that being said, I want to show y'all something as well. Let me try to show you something because we got a big event happening here in South Africa as well. And I'm getting ready to play it for you now. So enjoy. Makwande, kuhlangane, kube mnandi, sibe moja, makwande, kuhlangane. Okay, y'all saw that, right? Y'all saw that. That's some amazing stuff. And I know you're probably thinking, what is this? They don't do things like that in South Africa. Well, I'm just saying. There's a lot happening here in South Africa. So what I want to do, without further ado, I want to bring in a young lady. She's famous. I keep telling you guys, she's famous out of Cape Town. She's from Southern California. She's a wine snob. She's all these different things, and I'm gonna bring her on board, and we're gonna have a conversation. So without further ado, here we are. There she is, guys.
Hi, everyone. You know what? Fact, I am a wine snob. I don't know about the famous part though, but I am definitely a wine snob.
I keep everywhere I go, I keep hearing about this Tawani.
Do you know her?
Yeah, do you know her?
Do you know her?
I love it. You know what? I'm working really hard to build a brand in the world, actually, especially in Cape Town, though. And so I'm really proud of the work that I'm doing. And when I saw that video, it was like I saw it for the first time because I'm so excited about this event. Like, honestly, yeah.
So now, guys, I'm just gonna be full disclosure. I don't know, Eric. I don't know much about Tawani. She never tells me anything. I have zero clue. But I found out over the festive season, which is what we call the holiday season here. Yeah, you know how it works. She said she's been here since 2018. Why?
Yeah.
Why? You got that Southern California vibe, the whole nine. What's happening?
I mean, if you see my Instagram page, you understand why. It's something that you can't even really just like put into words. It's something that people just have to come and they have to experience it. I was actually talking to one of my mentees earlier today, and she did an internship here, and she was just saying how we feel so connected to the community here, right? And for me, that's what Cape Town is. It's like a really easy community to fall into. You remember growing up and watching like General Hospital or the Soapies, and you'd have somebody come from a small town, and all of a sudden they're hanging out with all these rich people and doing these fabulous things. That's what Cape Town feels like. Not necessarily that you're hanging out with all these rich people, but you get to, it's just so easy to do really fun and fabulous things. Like, and on a budget, that's what I call myself. I'm Miss Bob.
Well, let me go ahead and bust you out now. Let me bust you because you said soapy. Who says that?
That's what the South Africans say. And you know what? It's so funny though, because South Africans are like approaching me lately and they're just like, oh, they start speaking like Xhosa to me. Is it Xhosa to me or Zulu? And I'm like, no, I only speak English. Like, so I feel like I'm starting to fit in. People are starting to think that I'm like really South African.
I know.
Yeah, it's funny because when you're here for an extended period of time, early on, people like always say, welcome to South Africa, welcome to South Africa. But as the years go on, nobody says that anymore. I guess they just assume that we're from here because of the lingo.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, listen to me. I'm saying yeah, like they say yeah. So There's some things I refuse to say, like how they say foil, aluminum. I can't even say it properly. Or caramel. No, I say caramel. They say caramel. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Cool, cool. So now you're down there and you're because I know for a fact that you've been doing a lot of legwork and down there in the wine industry down there in the wine countries. For people who don't know, tell them about the wine country down there in Cape Town and why is it so significant?
So, okay. I'm in love with the wine industry here, the wine community here. It's one of the reasons that I first moved to Cape Town. And
Hmm.
I'm just going to be very frank and honest. I love it because there's so many people that look like us in the wine industry, from
Hmm.
viticulturalists, winemakers, people working in the fields, people working in the cellars, sommeliers in the tasting rooms, sommeliers in the restaurants. And so to be around all of that Black talent in the wine industry is pretty amazing.
Yeah, plus there's opportunities that you've been presenting to people, either like through this tour that you're going to do, this tour that you're going to do. Oh yeah, people, Tawani's doing a tour down here, and that video that you guys saw, she had that produced, and you guys can sign up, for the wine tour. Actually, you can sign up on our website as well, therealsouthafrica.com if you're looking at coming down for that tour. But I want to go back to the part where, because because we know for a fact that you have literally, put a lot of Black South Africans on. Is that true?
I'm gonna pat myself on the back, right? And it's not one thing that I'm going to be modest, because I work my tail off just trying to make sure it's not even for me. For me, it's generational wealth, it's generational exposure, right? So I work
Uh-huh.
my off trying to make sure that people know about these things. Somebody just approached me today when I was out at a wine bar, and they said, "You know what? I saw one of your posts, and it said if you spend 25% of the money that you are going to spend when you come to this country with Black-owned businesses, it would change the dynamic, the landscape of the economy for people of color in South Africa," right? And so
Yeah.
I feel like that about wine in particular, because that's my baby, right? And
Yeah.
so um, how do you build wealth in the wine industry for people of color? You have to support these businesses. You have to buy their products. You have to visit their wine farms. And a lot of times people won't know about them, right? Because they don't have the marketing budgets that the larger wine industries have. So
Yeah.
through my small voice, I've been able to get wine farms like Klein Hudenras, mentioned in the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times. Los Angeles Times has written an article about me and my work in the wine industry. And I always feel like I'm that person too. Whenever somebody lets me in the door, I'm like bringing all my cousins with me.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And that's the way that it should be, right? So I'm glad that I'm able to use my voice in South Africa to make an impact for people of color, for Black people, because it's important for us. We like fancy stuff, we need to send our
Yeah.
kids to college. So I'm not gonna preach, but that's my goal, that's my mission. And so Afro Wine Week, the tour that's coming up, which is more, it's literally more than a tour. It's a gateway. It's a gateway for people who want to invest in the wine industry. And think about South Africa as the launching pad, but we're talking about a global wine industry. And when you just think about the African continent and the amount of money, because Black people, we like to drink, right? And we're drinking good stuff. So like just think about the investment opportunity of learning about the wine industry here in South Africa. It's a growing community, it's a small community, but it's a perfect investment opportunity for people. So that's what Afro Wine Week is. It's a gateway, it's a community, it's an ecosystem for us to pull all of our money together, and then invest in wine brands, invest in all parts of the value chain, from grape to glass. I'm super excited about it.
And you should be, because I know personally that you've been putting in a lot of work. You do a lot of events down there. You brought in celebrities because you're famous.
Yeah.
Not because not because I'm famous, because I'm good at what I do. That's why I bring in the celebrities.
But being good at what you do and bringing in celebrities makes you famous.
Famous.
I'm not gonna let you not have that one. I'm not gonna
I
let you
know
have
they're
that
not gonna let me get away with that, right? So come be famous with me. Like listen, like we can all be famous.
one. Come be famous with me.
But
Yeah.
you know the good part about it, that like the passion you are talking about is kind of how we feel. We could have came here, did nothing. We could have just like 'cause we came here, we was okay, and but we want to because nobody's marketing to us in the United States as far as come to South Africa, come to South Africa. They hear it because they're hearing things on YouTube, and I can distinctly remember when we moved here, we never saw one YouTube video. We didn't even know what was happening, and then we got here and we saw what was happening, and we knew people needed to be part of this. We knew, so we're kind of like you. What can we do to what's called expose people
Yeah.
to happening.
And it feels so good though. Like I know one of the best feelings that I have is when Americans do come to Cape Town and they say, "Oh my God, it's so different than what I imagined," or like, and I'm like, "What did you imagine?" And they're afraid to tell me exactly what they imagined because they imagine lions roaming the streets and
Yeah,
people not civilized, like but when they see how well developed it is and they see how many opportunities there are, if you just want leisure, there's opportunities for that. But then there's also people coming here and they're buying properties. They're doing what the Europeans have been doing for years, right? And so
okay.
I love to see that we are breaking the code, right? And I think that it's really important for me, to come here and to share the wealth and to help create the wealth, right? So I don't want to be like somebody who just comes to this country and I'm just mining for whatever I can take so that I'm comfortable. I'm actually setting up. I mean, I have like other work that I do too besides my wine tours and events, but behind the scenes, I'm setting up ways for people to be educated, ways for people to have externships, internships, to travel outside of South Africa and to learn about wine. So like, I'm glad that I'm able to be here and to do things like that. It just feels good. It feels good to see the Americans come in and like learning something new. And it feels good to be a part of the South African community and giving them tools so they can empower themselves and they can build wealth. And that's what Afro Wine Week is all about. So it's about like African people, Afro people from all over that diaspora coming together in Cape Town and like, breaking the code, creating something that we can build generational wealth on. We can create jobs and and entrepreneurship opportunities.
So we've been doing, tours with you for I don't know how many years now. It's like the years have flown by. But what would you say to someone who's like, I don't drink wine. I don't want to go on a wine tour because it seems to me that it's not really it's not about drinking the wine. It's something bigger than that. So what would you say to people that act like they don't want to drink the wine or they don't need to, that's not their thing?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you know this, right? Because I host a lot of the real South African customers and I love you guys. I mean, honestly, I could tell you who these customers are. I could write a book on you guys.
You might need to do that.
And we share the same customer values, right? And they come and it's not just about wine, it's about the experience. So we do have some customers that just don't drink wine at all. And at the end of the day, honestly, they say that their Sips with Soul experience is their best day in Cape Town. And I'm super proud of that. And these are non-wine drinkers. And that's what I mean about the wine industry. People think the wine industry is just about the juice. It's just about getting drunk or getting tipsy, right? And it's really not. It's about the lifestyle. It's beautiful in the winelands. They have some of the most beautiful homes, great shopping, little small boutique stores, the best restaurants. And then when you're at the wine farm, the views are just simply amazing. So and I'm encouraging a lot of the wine farms that we partner with to actually introduce non-alcohol tastings. So I'm actually going to start doing a non-alcohol tour too. Yeah, so we could do some tea tasting.
I love that. Yeah, you got your teetotalers out there. So.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
so it's about the lifestyle, and that's what when you think about wine as a lifestyle, there's so many different ways to invest. Imagine if you had this group of investors that came and they said, you know what, we want to invest in a guest house that's a black-owned guest house in the winelands. Currently, there's not one, right? But
yeah,
imagine a beautiful guest house where you can stay in the winelands, you can go wine tasting every day because you're in the winelands already, and you
yeah.
can have this pool resort. That would be amazing.
Well, you might talk it into fruition because people might come down there on our tour, the one that we're doing for the Afro Wine Week. Had to plug it again, and it's on our website. And then if you go, you'll get the opportunity to find Tawani again and book that tour. First of all, everybody that comes on our on tour here, I don't know, like, regardless of what their income level, education level, you name it, they all come here and they take away something. Like for example, the opportunities. For example, they would go down there and be like, "So you're telling me there's no black
Yeah.
B and B, nice B&B, nice lodge that they can go to and be like, well, it could be done."
Yeah.
It could
And
definitely be done.
yeah,
And that's the whole point of Afro Wine Week, right? So like imagine you have a group of investors, and we're also working with an investment banker to help us build out skeleton like business models so that when we have our summit, we're going to have think tanks, and these people who are interested in investing, we're going to pair them with people who are already talented, real estate people, viticulturalists, people who are winemakers already, and they'll all sit at a table and they'll have this business plan, this small business plan, a skeleton of a business plan, and what does it take? And they'll have some advice from some investment bankers that say, okay, this is the high dollar amount. This is how much it would take. These are some of the these are some of the assets that you would need. And people will actually sit at a table and come up with the business model and come up with some actionable items. So after they leave, oh no, not even after they leave. So
mhm,
part of Pro Wine Week is we have a full integration into Cape Wine, which is the largest wine trade show in the Southern Hemisphere. So everybody who registers for Afro Wine Week will register for Cape Wine. So after our 2-day summit, you'll have all this information on how the ins and the outs of the wine industry work, and you'll have an idea of how and where you want to invest. Then you go into the Cape Wine trade show and you get to meet with all these people. You get to meet with barrel makers, cork makers, glass providers, winemakers, people who have bulk juice, whatever it is that you want to invest in, you'll have everybody in that room. So that's the whole benefit of Afro Wine Week too. So if you're coming with the mindset that you want to invest, you maybe want like a second career, maybe you want a retirement plan.
yeah.
This is the perfect opportunity to figure out how you can do that in the wine industry. And it's not just about, it's not just about creating another wine brand, right? Because that doesn't build wealth. It's about creating actual foundational wealth building opportunities. If
But
that
the,
makes
the
sense.
way But the way I see it, you're there every day. You're having these conversations pretty much every day. You're meeting with these people pretty much every day, and then you're seeing it, like the opportunities is there. Like for example, us. I see so much. It's insane, and the people that I talk to that are, let's say, from the U.S., they want a brochure. They want it all lined up for them in a lot of ways, and sometimes it's difficult. But even when you set it up, for example, Afro Wine Week, you're going to have everybody that you need in the room that
Yes.
you need to be part of it. And then lastly, I look at it like this: they are looking for people just like you, or the people that's going to come to partner with, to work with, to micro invest, or to be, or to bring their skill sets. They're looking for everything because let's face it, there's
And
a
to
lot of opportunity.
So like when you said, "Oh, I'm famous," right? I don't really
Oh yeah,
think of myself as famous, but I do think of myself as a connector, right? So I hear about opportunities, I know about things, and one of my favorite things to do is to connect people. So if you have X and somebody needs Z, I'm like, "Yo, you guys need to talk. You guys get together, right?
yeah,
Um, I need to do better at monetizing that skill. But yes, I love it. I love connecting people, and I love making sure that everybody is at the table. So that's what Afro Wine Week is about. And it's not only about business, right? So a lot of
Yeah.
it is about business. I want people to understand how serious this is, right? Because we do need to build wealth for our community. That's a very serious topic. But it's also going to be fun because if you know me, you know I like a good time, right? I work hard and I play hard. That is like I live by that motto, right? So
Yeah.
we're going to have it's going to start off the first day. We're going to do a Mother City tour. It's the 20 version of a Mother City tour where we do Robin Island and Table Mountain, and in between that, take a drive through the city with a qualified tour guide who's very knowledgeable in the history and the landmarks. And then the next day, we'll do my very famous Sips with Soul tour, where you'll get to meet some Black winemakers in action. You'll get to go to the 100% Black-owned wine farm. And then the next, and we also have a welcome dinner the first night, and we're doing that at Wild de Vie, which is the newest Black-owned restaurant in the Winelands.
Okay.
And then we go straight into the summit for 2 days. And then after the summit, and we also are going to have a restaurant crawl. The second night of the summit, we're going to do a restaurant crawl where we're going to get a bus and we're going to take people to the Black-owned restaurants in Cape Town. So you get to dine and dash. You don't have to worry about paying for anything because it's already included. So we'll go to the restaurants, show some support, eat some good food, and then go to the next restaurant. So we'll go to 3 or 4 different restaurants that are Black-owned in Cape Town City Center. And I'm just like spreading the wealth all around, right?
Exactly.
And after that, we'll go into Cape Wine, into integration with Cape Wine. And that's fun. They have lots of winery open houses. And then they'll have lots of parties and pre-parties, post-parties, during parties. So if you know me, I feel like I'm all about building business, but also building community. And how do you do that? You have fun, right? I mean, making money is fun for me. I love making money, and I love to celebrate it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm all for it. As I could say that I'm all for it. You know, I like I said, you know, it's we all have some of the same challenges in reference to getting this awareness out to our people, because I think once people see that this is available, then they come.
Mhm.
But what's the big deal about being in Cape Town? Tell them.
Oh,
Is that a
God.
big deal? It's nothing. It's no big deal, right?
No, Cape Town is a very big deal. Cape Town is a magical place. Now, I know y'all love Johannesburg, and Johannesburg
Yeah.
is right. Johannesburg is great. But I always say that Johannesburg is for the culture and Cape Town is for the lifestyle, right? Because Cape Town is just such a beautiful place. It's so chill. It's a place where you can go to like a nice 5-star dinner. And honestly, I've seen people, I wouldn't do it, but I've seen people in their flip flops and they're like slides at the 5-star dinner because it's so comfortable here in Cape Town, right? But the food is great. Did you just add that live from Johannesburg? Oh my goodness.
Live from Johannesburg.
That is so magical. Like, you know what? If you come to Cape Town and you say, "Oh, I didn't have a good time in Cape Town," that's on you. Like something is literally wrong with you because there's something for everybody. If you want to hike a mountain, you can hike a mountain. If you want to just go drink all day, like last night, I did a post today and it said that if Welcome to Cape Town was a person, it would be me, right? So like listen, my best friend, she's like, my girl is coming. Can you show her a good time? So of course I show her a good time. So I took her on Twani's cocktail crawl. We went to 3 different bars and 2 nightclubs in one night.
In one night?
One night. That was one night. That was one night.
No, it was last.
She was like, no, that was just yesterday.
That was just last night. But I mean, it's so chill. And we literally walk. So it's not like Johannesburg where people are like suited and booted and high heels and stuff. People, they were like, what should I wear? I was like, wear some tennis shoes, wear some sandals, whatever. Just make sure your shoes are comfortable. So we literally walked down Bree Street, went to so we just had a good time. But that's what Cape Town is. Cape Town is just like, it's a vibe.
It's a vibe. I think I think Johannesburg has its own vibe. I think South Africa is very vibey. You just gotta find which vibe you're trying to get into.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, because I like Durban too. Durban's a little bit more chill for me, you know. And
Yeah.
they don't know me in Durban. See, and I'm partial to Cape Town because everywhere I go in Cape Town, people are like, "Oh, Twani, welcome." Here you go. Like, I don't have lines. If I need a reservation, I just call and make a reservation. Like I know the people to call. So that's why I love. That's why I especially love Cape Town. Cape Town with Twani is different than Cape Town with anybody else. Trust me.
That is so very
Exactly.
true.
But like I said, we got this system game. Like I said, we're not getting marketed to. People are, I mean, as we're getting older, people are going to the same places every year. They're doing their cruises and stuff, and then they love their cruises. Like my sister, she used to say, I'm a cruise girl. I love my cruises. I love my cruises.
Don't talk about
No, she did. She told me that. And then when she started coming to South Africa, she went on a cruise and she was like this ain't it, and whatnot. So South Africa can at least expand your horizons.
Yeah.
Going to Cape Town, getting the opportunity to come on tour, go to Afro Wine Week, and really get talking to the real professionals, because a lot of times we don't get those opportunities to talk to the real professionals that can get you in the industry, and all they got to do really is like you, and we're likable, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and all they have to do is like, they have to know you. That's all. They have to know you, right?
That's
And
it. Yeah.
you can't just. And a lot of times people come into so people come into Cape Town or to South Africa. You probably experienced this too, Marco and Tasha. But like they'll come and they want to do some kind of business or whatever, right? And they don't really understand the culture of how things are, right? And so they're like, "Oh, well, Twani's there and she's doing it, so I could just pop up and do it, right?" And then they call me and they're like, "Well," they try to do it on their own. They're like, "Well, I'm calling so and so, and they're not returning my phone calls, or I can't get a hold of them." And I'm like, but it's relationships, you know what I mean? You have to build these relationships. And I had to even learn, like in my apartment, there's a phone. You guys will see that, like it's old school phone. It's like a real phone actually, right? And so when I have visitors, the security calls up and they want to have a whole conversation with you before you just say person up. So I used to just pick up the phone, let them up. And then they play games with me, huh? What? Like they couldn't hear what I said.
And they should. And they should.
And so my boyfriend told me, he was like, "You're being so rude. You have to, greet them, wait for them to, answer the greeting and, have a whole conversation with them. And then they'll say, 'Oh, so-and-so is here for you.'" I had to learn that.
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
Yeah.
I talk to everybody now. I'm talking like everybody.
Yeah.
And their conversations, they're not just like, "Hey, how are you?" And like, you don't even wait for the answer. No, they want to know exactly how are you, how your mom and them and everything.
I went to the pharmacy this afternoon and the girl was like, "How you doing?" I was like, "I'm good." She was like, "Oh, you need a little bit of medicine?" I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "Well, how was your weekend so far?" Like we had this full on conversation about, and then she was like, "Well, take care of yourself." And I was like, "You do the same." All right. But, like just the pharmacy.
Yeah.
Not 2 minutes, but I was there for 10.
Yeah, and I love it. You know what I love about it too is because it teaches me or it reminds me to just slow down. Like, why am I in such a big rush, right? Like, slow down and just be human. And I think that's the biggest thing, that my biggest takeaway from South Africa is just like learning how to slow down, how to be human, how to be in community. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, and again, we give a lot of opportunities on our end. People don't see it as an opportunity. When they come on tour with us, we set them up proper, and it's so funny because they're in some ways they're looking at it as just a vacation or a trip, and then probably like day number 3, they're like, "Oh my God, this place is stunning." And now they're looking at it as an opportunity and whatnot. So and that's why I like what we are all doing, exposing a lot of us, because a lot of us just deserve a break, you know,
One.
and we're right there to assist you. And unfortunately, I'm just going to say it to the people in the back row. With us being here all the time, with us doing what we do, with us having the access of what we have access to, you can't just roll up in here with your resume one day and just say, "Oh, well, I'm just going to like Tawani said, I'm just going to do what Mark do. He does. I'm just going to do that." And then they're upset because they're like, "Oh, it's not working for me like that." Like what are
Mhm.
you doing? Like somebody's holding them back. And I'm like, guys, I'm here every day. I went to the gym, ran into this guy. I went to the coffee shop, ran into this
I
guy.
went to the car wash.
I
Ran
went
into
to the
this
car
guy.
wash. I was over here shopping, ran into this guy. I'm running into people on a regular basis, and I have conversations with, and they're not Americans. 99% of the people that I can do business with and do things with are the residents, the actual citizens of South Africa that see you as a person, because you got to be a person first. And some of us don't understand that, because Tawani kind of illustrated it, that you could be a person. It's okay. Versus, hey, here's my resume. I'm going 1,000 miles a minute. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do that. If you slow down
Yeah.
time, you will find out that there are plenty of people here willing to help you. So even with what Tawani's doing, like I said, she could do her thing, go drink her wine, dot 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 dot. But she's trying to open this thing up for not just herself, because she's planted in Cape Town. She would like to see others take advantage of all of this.
Of course, you know what too, and it's just one of those things. Even like for the Americans, yes, but especially for the local people too. It's no fun being the only person in the room. Like that's it's 2025, right? We should not be bragging about I was the only black person at so and so event. For
Right.
me, I despise that statement. I don't want to say there's only one black winery option in all of South Africa and all of Friendship. I want it to just be normal. I want it to be so normalized that what our options are standing on par with other options, and there's not only one option. And so like we can only do that if we recycle, upcycle the wealth. And so I stand strong on that. And I think that that's the benefit too of traveling to South Africa with the real South Africa, participating in my wine tour, is because you're going to ensure that I'm going to ensure for sure that you're spending some money with some people of color in this country. Like you're going to spend some money here with some people of color, direct with them, and not just the workers, people who own things. And
Yeah.
hopefully it'll just be more and more and more as we continue to do business here.
Yeah, and you 100% right, Tawani. It needs to be normalized, and that's my thing. It just needs to be normalized. It shouldn't be, I can say 20 just before COVID, maybe just after COVID, somewhere there and abouts. I mean, there were people that we was running into here that was like, I've never seen any Black Americans. Where are the Black Americans? Like, where are the rest of the Black Americans? And I'm sitting here thinking, man, there's some super talented Black Americans that are over there, getting beat over the back. I'm just going to say it like that. And but just recently, because of and I'm going to, I used to never take credit, but people keep like, Mark, you need to take credit for what you guys have done, especially here in Johannesburg and Durbs, even Cape Town, and everything in between. That people are like, oh yeah, I got an American friend.
Yeah.
Oh, I got an American. Like, this is South Africans. Oh yeah, I met this American person. Da 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 da. And a lot of them, a good number of them, came through us. I mean, would you agree?
No, because prior to that, we were the first Americans that they'd ever met. They're like, "Oh my God, you're American." But now we run into people. Obviously, they know who we are a lot of times, but they will reference other Americans that they've run into and that they've met. That makes them feel good. That lets them know that we are coming. We probably need to do a little bit more as far as like tourism is concerned.
Yeah.
But they're happy just to know that we are participating or making the effort to participate in what's happening in the country.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's important too in the fact that we live here, right? So it's not like, and that's the benefit, right? So like, I know if something goes wrong on a tour, like I tell you guys all the time, I'm up the street. If I need to go, take something to somebody or something, I can go do it. Luckily we don't have any of those issues. But that's the benefit. There's some people who are trying to do these group tours and they're sending people here and they're in another, they're not even here. They're not even in South Africa. And they don't even have the networks. And it just makes it so much more difficult. But the fact that we're here, like people just don't even have to worry about it. And then they know if something goes wrong in Cape Town, I could call a lot of people. I could call a lot of people. I'd be like, yo, my people need this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, we have built a proper network, and I know this. We have a proper network for people to do what they need to do. They just
Yeah.
need to engage in a small sample size. It's you don't have to be sitting in the United States trying to figure out how to do everything. Never been, by the way, but
Mhm.
they- trying to figure it out and watching other people's videos who you're watching, and those people have returned back to the States
Yeah.
for various reasons. I don't know the exact reason, but you've been here about 7 years. I know we've been here about 7 years. I think that we have gamed it up. We have mapped it out. This is basically what we need to do. And if we're saying, hey, take a small sample size, come to Cape Town, come to South Africa. We're saying come to South Africa and take 10 days, learn a little something. It's only going to benefit you down the line. That's what I think.
I think so too, 100%. No, and
Yeah.
no, no, I agree with that, but I'm gonna take it a step further.
Oh
Come to
Lord.
Africa and invest in South Africa. Buy that,
Yeah.
even if you don't want to invest, like you don't want to have a business, buy that holiday home. You know what I mean? Like, do it. Buy some land and build something from scratch. Get you a farm, do something. Come here like 3 months out of the year. Um, just come here as an investor, come here as a tourist. Just come here and it'll be so much better than your European vacation. Trust me, you'll have so much
Yeah.
fun.
Hey, because all the Europeans are coming here.
Yeah, they know. They've been knowing. They've been knowing. So South Africa now, right? So South
Yeah,
Africa, they've been knowing. Come now.
yeah. Yeah.
But just come. And I'm waiting. And I was so jealous when I was hearing about all your family members coming over and moving over here. I'm like, man, I know my family. If I could just get one, either my brother, my sister, or my mom to move, the rest of them would come. Yeah,
But
I just need one of
what
them to move.
your daughter was here. You
Huh?
saw her. Your daughter was here.
Oh, my daughter's here every other month almost. Well, she just moved to Chicago for work, so she
Yeah.
hasn't in a couple months, but she should be popping up like in the next few weeks or so. But yeah, she loves it here. She wouldn't move here because she loves her job, and she's young, so like yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
She's coming.
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So the last thing about the Afro Wine Week, even if you are like, okay, I'm definitely not interested in uh, the conference portion of it, which you probably should be, simply because all the players in the game, even if you don't even think you're supposed to be in the game, you might got $2,000 in your account, but you could possibly play.
You
You don't
could.
even you can
Yeah.
possibly play, but you're going to discount yourself. You're going to discount yourself. But even if that's the case, you still can come and enjoy all the other stuff on
Yeah.
your tour.
And even let's say you're coming and your partner's coming, but your partner does not want to attend to some of your partners like I just want to have a good time, right? So we actually have two packages. We have the package that includes the summit and the 2 days you'll be in the summit and the 3 days you'll be in Cape Wine, right? And then we also have the package for the 7 days you will not attend the summit, you will not attend Cape Wine, but you will do things like go see the penguins. You will, you'll go for a safari. There's a ton of stuff to do in Cape Town. So we do have another package for people who want to come and they don't want to participate in the summit.
Yeah, and so there's a lot of options, but you cannot lose coming to Cape Town. And then lastly, I will say this: coming to Cape Town with so many tourists coming to Cape Town, there are tourists from all over the earth coming to Cape Town. I'm 100% sure. I think that's what you see as well, because we bring some. I will say that having your stuff sorted out before you get here
Oh yeah.
is tremendous, because I know there's people that get here and they well, I'm not going to mess with the rest of Africa because dot dot dot. Okay, fine. They get down there and then they're like, I should have messed with these guys, because there's a million people down there trying to get what you trying to. They already have what you want, and you find that you can't get on, or there's an issue.
Or you know what it is too? There's so many things to do. So you get down here, then you start feeling overwhelmed because there's so many
Yeah.
things to do. So now you don't know what to do. So you spent 2 days looking at what you should do when you could just go with the Real South Africa, let them curate it for you, give you some suggestions. And you know what? I was doing the numbers last week, right? And just from my wine tours alone and the people that I host for my 7-day experience or whatever, I hosted 700 people. A lot of people came from the Real South Africa for my wine tours, but that's 700 individuals that came into this country, and they had such a great time. Now, outside of those 700 people, I get people all the time who will send me a text message. They get my number somehow from a friend of a friend, or they send me an email, and they say, you know what? I want to go to the Black-owned wine farmer. I want to taste with Black people in wine. Can you give me a list? Don't do that. Don't call me and ask me for a list.
No.
You know,
Not go to research yourself. But if you want to have a really amazing experience and you want to meet a Black winemaker, you want to bottle your own wine, if you want to have a very unique experience where you don't even have to think about it, you just show up and you just have an amazing time, that's when you call me. That's when you can send me a text.
Yeah.
Don't call me and ask me for my list.
Yeah.
She was like, you know how much time and effort took me to get to this list? I'm not just gonna give it to you. You can pay me.
You know, I know, but you know, and my list comes with comfort too, just like your travel experience, right? It comes with like comfort. It comes with like little special touches, and you could do this. People could travel on their own all the time, right? But there's a difference between when you have a curated trip and you just have a trip that you put together yourself.
Yes.
There's a difference between a good trip and an amazing trip. Let's just say that.
Okay.
I like
All right, Tawana.
So, before we move on, tell everybody the website. Tell them where they can find you on socials and the dates of the tour.
All right. So Afro Wine Week, September the 5th through September 13th. You can find me on afrowineweek.com. That's our main website. From there, you can pick your travel package. You can see the itinerary. We're going to have over 20 different speakers. We're going to have some really amazing keynote speakers from America and from South Africa. We also have an Instagram page, so you can follow the Instagram page, Afro Wine Week. What else? So yeah, the Instagram page. We're on LinkedIn. We have a LinkedIn page, Afro Wine Week. Just put in Afro Wine Week in Google. Let's just let it go crazy, right? If you have any questions about Afro Wine Week, you can definitely send me a message. You can DM me, slide into my DM. And then if you, for some reason, you can't come or you're not sure if you can come, you can also go to the website. You can join our community. And in this community, we're going to have a Zoom call where we're going to do like an information session. We're going to provide access for the information after the conference. So if you want to get access to that information after the conference, join our community so you can stay updated. So afrowineweek.com.
All right.
Excellent. And that's valuable information, by the way. So, you know, because I mean, how many people who work in some job in the United States making good money, but would love to be able to work in the wine industry in probably one of the best wine environments ever.
Yeah.
How many people are getting off from their government job because we got,
Whoa.
and they need a new source of income. They need a good retirement. They need an early retirement plan. Like, listen, your dollars will go a long way in South Africa.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Right, Tawana, we really appreciate you, and we can also find that exact same tour on our website as well, therealsouthafrica.com. You'll be able to find that tour. And so
just scroll down to Afro Wine Week.
Yep. Just go down to Afro Wine Week, because she keeps saying, you know, Afro Wine Week. Yeah, after 1 week. All right, Tawani, we really appreciate it, and hopefully we will see you in them streets soon enough.
Yes, come to Cape Town so I can take you on my Cape Town club crawl.
Oh my
Oh
God.
no, oh no, I
Can we start during the day and be done by 8 o'clock?
couldn't.
We can actually. Yes, we can.
Okay, that's all I need to know.
All right, I have
See,
plenty of pictures for you too, Mark.
Okay,
all
we'll
right,
talk.
all right, guys, that was amazing. Like I said, there's a lot going on out there. There's a lot going on out there, and we want you guys to take advantage of what's happening here in South Africa. Like even like us, our tours are set up. We got tours to Durban, Cape Town, Johannesburg, Pretoria. Our Pretoria tour is probably going to be our number one tour. We actually do spend a lot of time in
Victoria.
Pretoria. There's a lot of things you guys haven't heard of, and so forth. I will tell you this: there was a time nobody really came to
Johannesburg.
Johannesburg, and then all of a sudden everybody was just only going to Cape Town, and then
Yeah.
we put it on the map and said, hey, come to Johannesburg now. Everybody's coming to Johannesburg. Right up the street, literally, is Pretoria. Whole different vibe, whole different. I mean, it's just a whole different. It's different. It really is different, and we spend a lot of time there as well, and so forth. So, guys, what I did, I don't know if anybody's going to join us, but if you want to join us on screen, I put something from the Real South Africa. It's a link. If you have a question, we'd be more than happy to answer it. Or if you just want to send us a message, we'll go ahead and answer your questions about anything that we do here in South Africa. Um, but so you can go ahead and do that. So you guys know we do amazing tourism, and then of course we do safari tours out to. Uh, where do we go?
We go to Limpopo, we
Yeah,
go to Langa, and we go to the Kruger portion of those two countries.
countries,
Those two provinces.
two
Two
provinces.
provinces. Lord, forgive me. Forgive me. I know better. Trust me, I know better.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So, but as far as South Africa is concerned, as far as travel, it's still open. You get a 90-day visa. You definitely need to make sure you have a valid passport. So we do get some have people who call us and they haven't been applied, for their passport. So go ahead and apply for your passport. You're going to need that at some point. I'm just saying
Yeah.
we kind of know what's happening over there in the United States. We've been hearing things. We've been hearing things. I'm like every
They don't
day.
sound. They don't.
Yeah, it
They
doesn't
don't
sound
sound.
promising and
So
whatnot. So to you're going to need a passport. So get that, and then you can come here. You can come on a tour with us, and then just have the best experience possible. I think we just had some people who just left
they literally just got on the plane.
today.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like I
Yeah.
said, we got people coming in, pretty much all the time.
Yeah.
So it's a good time for us Americans to come and visit South Africa. I want to say this, and I don't want to start any controversy at all, but I would say to you,
Controversy.
oh, controversy. That's how we say it here in South Africa, controversy. But no, if you're looking for something that's a better option in the world, I'm going to say that. I mean, I've traveled this earth. I do believe, and I will stand by this, as they say, 10 toes down, that South Africa is probably the most compatible, the most, what we know, um, location on the planet. If you had to remove all this, the Americans, Black Americans, so to speak, out of America, and where would you put them? I wouldn't say the UK. I wouldn't say Germany. I wouldn't say Europe. I wouldn't say anything like that. I would say first, obviously Africa, but then there are a lot of us who are looking at Africa as an option. But if you want anything that's close as far as infrastructure, what you're used to doing, how you can live, not only can you come and live here at a better rate, I mean at a good rate, you can actually upgrade yourself just simply because of the move itself. It can be done. I wouldn't spend so much time, sitting here thinking, okay, well, what about a job? What about this? I mean, if you were moving from one state to another, I get it.
Yeah.
I would understand that, but you know, my sister who just moved here, she's been I think since 2018, 2017,
18.
2017. No, I'm talking about Michelle.
I know I'm talking about Michelle too.
Yeah, about 2018.
Yeah,
So she's
okay.
been coming back and forth, and she knew it existed. So she set herself up for success. You know what I'm saying? So all I can say is if you're looking at South Africa as an option, because of the way things are going there in the U.S., I would say start making your visits, start coming on tour, stop not coming. I'm gonna. I mean, what else can you say?
Stop not coming.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Build a relationship. You hear us talk about it all the time. Um, you got to get here first. And I know a lot of people are like, well, I'm trying to plan it. They're trying to plan from the back forward. But you need to come on the visit first.
yeah.
And that's when you can actually start to formulate a plan. And that's kind of what happened to us. And I know you guys have heard this 1,000 million
Maybe
trillion
they did.
times. But if it's your first time, listen. Um, we came on a visit. We came on several visits. And finally it was like, you know what? I think we might need to make this move. And then we started making plans to say we want to be here in this many years and here in this many years. And then ultimately it took us 5 years and we made it here. Now a lot of you are like, I don't have 5 years. Well then that means you gotta move expeditiously. And there's a lot of things
Yeah, you can't be making a lot of mistakes
yeah,
either.
you don't have time to make mistakes. You need to start moving expeditiously. There's a lot of things that have to take place. Um, I'm not saying it can't be done, but there's going to be a lot of careful planning, and you can't afford any missteps. Um, Talking about the lifestyles that are here in South Africa. When I
Yeah,
was at the gym the other day, I was in the sauna, and I was talking to a young lady, a South African. She was white, and she was just like, even when she travels to other places, she knows South Africa's better than any place else.
yeah,
So she's like, I'm never going anywhere. And also in the sauna, another young white girl, she was actually American. She's like, I'm here because my parents work for the embassy. And she said, I love it here. I hope we never have to leave. So people are finding value in South Africa. We're just saying, as diasporan, as people of African descent, that we shouldn't be the ones that's missing out on it. You should come
exactly.
and find value in. If everybody else can find value in South Africa, why are you making excuses that they're giving you, by the way, to not come and see for yourself?
Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, the opportunities are here. Like I said, I had a friend just call me today. Actually, sent me a message. I was in the army at one time, the U.S. Army, many years ago, and good brother. He got a business, an amazing business. I remember when he first started because he saw me with the business, and we had a conversation. But he's at a point. He's had that business about 10 years, and he's at a point where he's like, well. Mark, I want my next 20 years to be amazing, but this right here is taxing. So he's like, he's literally said it was taxing. So he's like, well, how do I get over there? Like, how do I do this and how do I do that? And so he just felt that he could just step from one brick to another brick and continue the march. And I'm like, bro, that's not how it works. And of course, this is my friend, and he believes in what I'm telling him. So I'm just saying, bro, you got to come meet the people. You got to come. There's certain things that you need to do before, because when me and Tasha we look back at our time, we're like, we couldn't have done this if especially now with the climate in the United States, we couldn't have done this off the rip and be successful. Because yes, there are too many people who come here and they end up going back to the U.S. They try and they try and they try, but the part is, for example, there are some Americans here, but they're going through their own struggles as well. And then another American pops up, then they try to connect with another American. Now It's almost like, I'm not gonna say the blind leading the blind, but it's pretty close. Um, they want to just only connect with other Americans. And when you should come here, you should be trying to connect with South Africans. This is their country. They know everything. There's nothing that you don't need. You know what I'm saying? So all I can say is, come on a tour and start that journey. It's a journey. Like I said, there are a lot of successful people here who are doing very well for themselves, and it's only because they understand that they can't, use the American way. They actually have a South African, what you call it, constitution that everybody goes by, and so forth. So you can be part of it. They do want you here. I did a video talking, with they had the State of the Nation address, and they want us here, but you're going to have to go through tourism. So that means that, coming as a onesies and twosies, from a perspective of, I'm just booking a hotel room, I'm coming in. Those things really don't count. But when you look at how the other countries are operating, and the tilts and the things that they are getting, is because they're going through reputable tourism companies. They coming over here doing tourism, and they're coming in the busloads, and that's a massive investment
in the country.
into the country. It's a massive investment. So, for example, if we, like, for example, we got our group trips. When we do our group trips, everybody pays attention. When we do our real estate tours, when we do whatever we do, people pay attention. That's really all I'm saying. And once they start seeing the numbers, the people coming in, and they, hey Mark, how y'all doing over there? What y'all got going on? And we tell them, oh yeah, we got this going on. We got this many people coming. Then they want that to continue. What can we do to make it easier? What can we do to make it better? And the truth be told, people that, I'm put it to you like this: we put out a lot of content, and you may want to believe that it's only, black people looking at our content. You might want to believe that there's a lot of white people looking at our content, a lot of Caucasians, a lot of Europeans, right? A lot of them.
Yeah.
And they take our message and they go find it.
Yeah.
They go get it. It just is what it is, but it should be us. And so, they had the, what you call it, the Department of Tourism marketing to them. They got their own countries marketing to them. They getting all the advantages, and then they see our content, and they're like, "Wow! So you're telling me there's an amazing opportunity in Durban as far as homes are concerned? We're going to Durban," and that's what they do.
Well,
So, TW, you said, are you all in Johannesburg or Accra? On the top screen there, it says we're live from Johannesburg. So we are in Johannesburg.
South Africa.
Yeah. Let me see. And there's another question here. It says, and the value has always been there.
Yes,
Yes,
it has.
yes, it's always been here. We've been we've been hoodwinked and bamboozled all these years. We are wrapped up in what we're wrapped up in, just trying to survive, and we don't even see the opportunities that's here. But they are here, and
Yes.
they always have been. So it is what it is.
So, talking about opportunities, as you guys know,
I see you, TW.
we'll as you guys know, we are doing our inaugural Durban real estate tour in July. And the reason why this tour is important and the reason why it came about was because people kept asking us about Durban. People have also asked about Cape Town, but that's another story for another day. We're going to focus on Durban right now. And this tour is going to be extremely special because it's on the coast. We're looking at properties that run along the coast. You got ocean view. You got, I ain't even gonna say mountain view because it's so lush and green in Durban. You're not even gonna believe what you're looking at. So you can get anything from an investment property. You can get a standalone property. You can get a lock up and go. anything that you're looking for, South Africa actually offers. So you don't need to know what you're going to see every day. You just need to be available and present yourself so that you actually see what's going to be offered. But we had an opportunity to go down and, meet the people that we're going to be working with, and they pulled out everything for us. It's going to be amazing. The ones we do in Johannesburg are also amazing. A lot of people have brought properties, but I
Yeah,
really believe that the options in Durban, as far as like quality of life and affordability, I never use the word cheap here in South Africa. That's offensive. I just think it's affordable. When you look at affordability and what you can actually get, they want that investment. And if you can come here and invest in something for yourself, for your family, however you want to look at it, just make the investment, you will be better off for it. And I think that you're going to love what we've put together. The tour is July 1st through July 10th. You can find it on the website, therealsouthafrica.com. Just scroll down to see Durban Real Estate Tour 2025 and join us. It's going to be amazing. It's going to, and a resort that we booked for you guys,
we said resort.
we booked a resort for you. One of my favorites.
Yes.
Um, you're gonna love it. It has everything there. It's just one of those things, and we picked that one for a reason. We want you guys to see all the properties and still be relaxed when you come back and kind of take it all in, because you're gonna see so much that we don't want you to be too overwhelmed. Um, so we do that for a reason. And then there'll be some downtime and nice dinners and cocktails and pools and all those types of things and spa treatments. So all those things are going to be available, but you can't get those things if you don't visit our website, if you don't go to
Yeah.
the marking that says Durban Real Estate Tour 2025 and join us here in sunny South Africa in Durban in July.
Yeah. People have already signed up. We only have a limited amount of slots. And that means that I actually limit the amount of slots because if I had, let's say, 55 people here, it would make it difficult for everyone to be able to get the one on one service that they're looking for when it comes to property. Everybody is not coming to do the same thing. So we try to limit it to like 35 people. Sometimes it might balloon to 40, but I try to keep the numbers down simply because you're going to want to sit down and talk with the realtors. You're going to want to sit down and talk with a developer. You're going to want to sit down and talk to the CEO of these establishments that we're going to send you to. And like I said, for as far as I'm concerned, the gaining access to these things is crucial because you generally can't just walk up and say, "Hey, I want to do this and I want to do that." You got to go through some changes to be able to access South African property, and simply because the people that live in these massive estates and these beachfront or beachside properties, they pay for that level of security and
Exclusivity.
and the exclusivity. So they don't want people just coming through and whatnot. They really don't,
Yeah.
but we are able to make that happen for you. And then the good part about it is once you meet the people that you need to meet, then you got their contact details. If you call them a year later and say, "Hey, this is so and so. I was on the Real South Africa tour," they're going to be like, "Oh, okay. What can I do for you?" And we vet everyone, everybody that you're dealing with. We vet them. So that's why we go to Durban and we have these conversations and we sit down in their boardrooms and we say, "This is what we're looking for. This is because our people, our investors are coming from the United States. They need certain things, and this is what we expect out of you."
Yep.
It's just that simple. If a house isn't up to spec, don't put it into play.
Yes.
If it's something that we feel that is amazing, then we want that house to be featured on the tour. So there's a lot of that happening, and those that came on the other three real estate tours can, if they were on this call, they would tell you, yeah, it's crazy. They actually do these things, and then of course let's talk about it while we're on this live. You know, at some point you're gonna want to say, well, Well, but can I stay here? Can I live here? Well, we're going to have the immigrations people there as well. They're going to be in the room. You can ask all the questions. So with all that stuff that you've been hearing and not hearing and dot 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 dot, now you get to ask the questions direct.
Yes.
So we're definitely going to have that. People always ask us about, well, what about the healthcare in the Republic of South Africa? I will tell you that it's excellent. I've been here for 7 years. I obviously had to use it. The dental care, the vision. I got my glasses. I got my glasses here.
He's not wearing them.
Yeah, my little Tom Fords. But yeah, you can do all that here, and of course you're going to say, well, what about my Medicare, my Blue Cross Blue Shield, my this and that? That's a discussion that you can have while you're there, and I can give you the end answer. You will find out that you might have a better deal with having a policy here that covers a lot more than trying to maintain, something else. Um, what other people always ask about schools?
Yeah.
They always ask about schools. Some people they worry about schools for their grandkids. Okay, and that's fine. And that's fine. But you can ask those questions. Everything that you're going to need by the time you get back on that plane, sadly, you're going to be going back to the States. And by the time you go back to the United States, you're going to be sad, but at least you have all the answers. You will have all the answers. And on top of that, like Tasha said, we're going to be in Zimbabwe. That thing is incredible. You're gonna when you get done with looking at property, there's restaurants, everything. Then you can go to the Zimbabwe Beach Club, which you can just walk down to, and then that gives you access to go out off onto the beach. It's the Indian Ocean. It's just a regular sand beach, but it's just amazing, and you get to walk up and down that thing. I don't know what else to tell you, and that's what we are doing. Like I said, I could have stuck you in a Holiday Inn and been like, oh, just stay in there, and you get a small little hotel room, and you think you're doing something. We're gonna plus you up, so it's gonna be like a vacation slash real estate tour.
Yeah, it's gonna be a nice vacation in July, like perfect vacation time.
Yeah.
It's gonna be awesome.
Then you get the option to shop as well and explore a little bit other parts of Durban. You're gonna have some time. So and then lastly, you're gonna meet new people. You're gonna meet like-minded people.
My favorite part.
Yeah, you're gonna meet like-minded people. You don't know them now. You're like, I'm not going because I don't know anyone.
Yeah.
We have people who come by themselves, single, and they have a good time. Let's just leave it there. So our real estate tour is coming up. I think you guys should look at it heavily, especially and don't do the well. I'm waiting to the next one because we don't know if we're gonna actually do another one, and we don't know when, and those are just
Those
just
are facts.
yeah, that's just the way it is.
We
So,
have ideas, but nothing's in concrete yet.
yeah. So obviously we're doing a tour with Tawani down in Cape Town. Let me see what somebody says. The real estate tour I've seen from your video has been amazing.
Thanks,
Yes,
Tito.
yeah, and this one's gonna even wait till you see there because the last real estate tour we did, a lot of people came on the tour and they made and I didn't I don't let people like, are you a YouTuber? So they made their own YouTube videos and they put them on their channels as well, which is good because we want people to have access. And I'm trying to tell you, they even on their channels, the best videos that they had were the ones from our real estate tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of things that you don't know is that those people they didn't know each other, but by the time we got to day 4, 5, and 6,
Man,
they were like, man, hey brother, let's go do this
they were
and
hanging
let's go
out
do that.
together and
Yeah,
all kinds of stuff.
yeah. So it was really good. So moving away from the real estate tour, but you can go to the website to select it, therealsouthafrica.com. Just go down to real estate tour. You guys have heard of Ashley? Ashley from Ashley in Africa. I'm sure you guys have heard of her. Some of you know, and some of you don't know. About 3 years ago, 4 years ago,
Almost 5.
5. Holy crap! She came through us. She was in Tanzania, and she was like, I want to know about South Africa. She booked a tour. She came. We show her that, like, this is the real South Africa. Um, she got here, and she basically never left.
She left. She just
Yeah,
went back to Tanzania, but
yeah.
um,
But she basically never left because she set up shop here.
she did set up shop.
Yeah, she really likes South Africa. She likes it a lot, and she's doing amazing things because she's like a lot of us. We want our people to see what's available. We really do. So I would say shout out to Ashley. We want her to her tour to be amazing. So she wants to not only talk to you about business, but she's also going to be bringing you here as well on her tour. And now you got, I guess, access to Ashley, and she's going to be breaking things down while you are on tour, learning about Johannesburg. And we think that's an amazing thing. So we're supporting that as well. So you can always go to our website, and then of course on her website where the tour is listed, and you can sign up as Ashley in Africa. Just go to our website, therealsouthafrica.com, slide on down, and you will see it. So we do have a lot of things going on because we all feel that South Africa should be a place that is normalized. Like, we just come here just simply because, you know. You got anything else to add about Ashley's tour?
September 1st through the 10th. Again, you can find that on her website and our website. This tour is specific for those that, follow Ashley, want to get more information on starting businesses and actual business investment here in the country. She is our go to for those types of things, but she decided to put a tour around that in Johannesburg to give you guys access to her knowledge, and she's going to assist you guys all while enjoying Johannesburg, South Africa. So like I said, you can find it on the website and on her website, Ashley in Africa.
Exactly. So, and if you book it on our website, because we are the real South Africa, we do have payment plans. Um, any tour that you see that we have payment plans. Tell them how it works, Tasha.
Okay, so we have our legacy payment plan, which is basically 25% down. You make a monthly payment, the balance is due a month before you arrive. So you'll get a reminder every month that tells you that if something is due on the account, you can make a payment at any denomination that you want, and we'll take that off and send you a new receipt and a statement. We also have Affirm, which is one of our biggest supporters right now, where you can apply for credit for the entire total of the trip, and then they can give you up to 0% and sometimes up to 3 years to pay for the tour. So if you really want to travel, but you need to save some money on the other side, then you choose Affirm at the checkout. You're going to use the full balance, and they will basically give you credit for that amount and allow you to make payments. Like I said, up to 3 years on that. And a lot of people have taken advantage of it. They enjoy it. They know they can come and enjoy South Africa without having to worry about emptying out their pockets right away. And that's a benefit to you because that means you can come to South Africa multiple times if you want to, knowing that you can pay for it later. So a lot of people have taken advantage of that, and I think that that's one of our strongest partners here right now.
Yeah, and I like the fact because one thing that you missed was if you want to put down your deposit. So let's say here you are, you're at the website, you've selected your tour, you selected the dates you want to arrive. The good part about it is you can literally just pick deposit, and then you still can pick Affirm, and then whatever your deposit is, that 25%, you can use Affirm to pay for that as well, and then that still gives you 36 months to pay that, and then of course the balance need to be paid 30 days prior to you arriving here in South Africa.
Yes, that is the short version.
Yeah, so there are plenty of options with it. Now, just kind of look, all our tours are amazing. They're all different because they different locations, but for the most part, and for example, at every tour that you're going to have with us, your breakfast is going to be nice. It's not that dry little biscuit and a little bit of syrup that they give you, and like these continental breakfasts. But I mean, they get an amazing breakfast, a full
They get a
breakfast.
full spread of hot breakfast. You can also get made to order breakfasts as well. So if
Mm.
you're like, oh, I don't eat what's on the I won't call it a buffet, but it's kind of like a buffet, but it's all very well prepared. It looks amazing. You can actually get stuff made to order. And these are chefs making your food. It's not a cook. These are actually chefs making your food. So if there's something even that you don't see on the menu that you want them to make, they will also find a way to make that for you too. So lots of amazing things as far as like breakfast is concerned. You're also going to obviously get luxury 5-star accommodations because that's kind of how we do.
Yeah.
Um, because all of our tours are private. If there's just one of you, then one of you will be in the vehicle. If there's 15 of you, 15 of you will be in a vehicle. That's how we do it. And we do it so that you can actually experience South Africa on a personal level without having other people's personalities kind of clashing. Um, just to backtrack, even on our group tours, people still felt like they had individual experiences. So just know that the way we put things together, you're going to have an individual experience to the point to where you're going to know that this was done for you and it's going to be like an investment in yourself. So back to the things that you get. So private.
The rooms are okay.
I already talked about the
They are.
accommodations.
Talking about the apartments they get.
Yeah.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Yeah, so we try to use apartments, luxury apartments, and a lot of the hotels that we use. So if it's a couple, they get a 1 bedroom, maybe a studio, and if it's two people that don't want to share, then they'll get a 2 bedroom. We have several beautiful hotels that have amazing opportunities for you to participate in the amenities that are there as well. What else do you want me to mention besides the private tour guides?
Dinner. You got to eat.
Dinner.
You got to eat. You got
Oh,
to
yeah.
eat.
I don't know why you would come to South Africa and not eat because the food here is amazing. Another sidebar. Talking to the lady at the sauna the other day. I don't know why we was talking so much in the sauna.
Yeah.
There's a lot of talking going on. I'm sitting there like, why are we talking so much? We were just having a conversation about how awesome South Africa was, and she said that the food in other countries were so subpar to South Africa that when she travels, she budgets her money for alcohol and wine more than she budgets for food because she knows she's going to drink more than she eats because she's like, the food there is crap. Now, I don't know what that says, but I will tell you this: budget for food here in South Africa. You can budget for wine as well, but no matter how much you budget, you probably still won't spend your budget because it's that affordable. And the food is amazing. The food is amazing. The food is amazing.
Yes.
They cater for all types of dietary needs, so you don't have to worry if you're vegan or vegetarian. You will find something to eat here in South Africa. There are a lot of steak houses still here in South Africa because they're a very meat-heavy country, but they still, again, cater to all.
Everything.
Cater to everything. You can still find something on the menu, and if you can't find something on the menu, you can ask, and they will probably make it for you. So just know you have options here. They're very, what's the word? Accommodating country.
Yeah, exactly. I had a question. Somebody asked me a question about asked me a question about TW. He's back. Yes, on the top there it says live from Johannesburg.
Okay.
No, I'm just playing.
He's messing with you.
Yeah, I'm just playing. But no, he asked me a question. I'm a car enthusiast like myself. Mm-hmm. Is there a Mercedes Benz or Porsche track to go and play while I'm there?
Oh, that's such a question for you.
I don't know.
Try to calm down answering this question.
Well, I'm a Porsche guy. The largest Porsche dealership in Africa is in Johannesburg. Pretoria has one. Durban has one, and then there's another one. I think in Port Elizabeth. I'm not sure. I've been to Port Elizabeth. I've never been to that dealership.
That's on the list.
Yeah, but whenever I am, and I'm constantly at the dealerships. They're massive. They're big dealerships, and they have a lot to offer there as well. So then, of course, Mercedes Benz. They're everywhere. I mean, they're everywhere. We do have a track called Kyalami. That's where if Formula One is going to happen on the continent, well, it's going to happen at Kyalami, which is right here in Johannesburg. The owner of the track itself is the same guy who owns Porsche. So I don't know if you knew that. That's a little tidbit. But and then of course there are tracks in the country. They are motorsport heavy here. They love their cars. There is also a Mercedes Benz Experience. We actually had a tour at one point where people can actually come and come on that tour. Um, that's something that we still can do. But you can actually go there. You put on the suit. You got the AMGs and they take you on the track. You got the simulators and then also obviously you have the instructors.
Yeah.
They have one. I know Land Rover, Land Cruiser,
Yeah.
whatever they are, they have one. Jaguar has one. So they're motorsport heavy here. So I hope that helps. But you're not going to be starved for choice here in South Africa when it comes to vehicles.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Actually, we have more vehicles than the United
I was
States.
gonna say,
Yeah,
because we got less people. But
Yeah, we got less people, but we got access to all the European cars.
Yeah.
We have access to most of the American cars.
And
And then of course now the Chinese cars, they've been here and they are incredible. We actually looked at one today. Just for
we've
GP.
looked at like 2 this week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they're everywhere.
They're literally everywhere. So yeah, and they got a new one, MG, the old MG brand. The Chinese bought it, of course, and now they got their first electric car. It's a little sports car, drop top, 2-seater, and if you look on the net, it's called the Cyberster, because it's a roadster, and I mean it's getting a lot of rave reviews because the doors are go up like a like the SLR Mercedes. So yeah, it's happening.
Too much is going on here in South Africa.
And then somebody says, "Hey guys, how's everybody doing?"
How's everybody doing?
We're doing well. We're doing very well over here. Like I said, and I really can't complain. We're getting out of summer. We're getting ready to go into fall.
I know it.
Yeah, so I'm trying to get my last days in and whatnot. So until we go into winter, because I think it goes in Fahrenheit during the day it gets to like 60, and then at night it might go down to 40. So yeah, it is what it is.
Thank you for asking.
Who is this guy?
What's going on?
Who's that?
You know who that is?
Yeah, I can remember exactly. Ken.
Yeah.
Ken.
Yeah.
Hey Ken, how you doing, bro? Hope everything is well over there. Hope everything is well. I know.
Come on back, bro. Come on back.
I know. The Doge is having a good time over there in the DMV. So
you're glad you're done with all that.
Yeah, we can't do anything about that. But don't worry about South Africa. We're fine over here and whatnot. Is there anything else we need to chat about, Tasha?
Oh, I don't know. Besides the fact that this real estate tour is going to be awesome, I'm still going to talk about that.
Yeah.
We are having a sale in the Pretoria package.
Oh my God!
So
yeah.
we have a sale going on now. It's $300 off. Because Pretoria is going to be the next. They got next.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize how much I loved Pretoria until I realized I was there like every day. And I was like, let me see what's down this street. Oh, this is here. And it's just beautiful. And when you see the jacaranda trees that are going to be coming out soon and they line those streets, you will actually see why Pretoria is definitely a place you definitely want. It's that those purple trees, they do something to you.
Yeah, purple M3s and jet skis.
Really?
Yeah, I'm old, so
he has a song in his head constantly.
Yeah. So again, guys, like I said, we do our best to bring South Africa to you the way you need to see it. And I'm gonna say it this way, and I know somebody's gonna be like, "What is he talking about?" I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. Like for example, like say I'm in DC. I'm a well-to-do brother, got a good job, making good money. But there are just certain places you just won't go. Like, nah, I'm not gonna go in that hotel. I'm not gonna go in that restaurant because they look at you funny.
Yeah.
whatever the case may
Actually, you
be.
got a room there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they question you kind of like going through customs nowadays in America, immigration.
Stop it.
I'm sorry, and and so you know you build up this thing where you go where you can't go, and the parts of America that we kind of want to go to, we don't go. We just don't, you know. And then if it is, it's like a stretch. Well, here people come here and they see all these nice things, and they rather just go down to this level, when they could be here. And they end up going down to this level, and they're like, "Oh, this is cool," and it is. I know it is, but you need to be at this level. Everything that everybody asks us about, everything. If you're at this level, it will answer itself. What about load shedding? Well, if you're in nice hotels and you're in nice this and everything is going well for
You
you,
ain't got to worry about that.
yeah, and then trust me, you can be unapologetic about booking a nice hotel. It's okay. You know, what about is the food edible? Well, if you're at nice restaurants and you're going to nice places, chances are you're probably gonna have a chef. And if you want to meet the chef, you can say, "Can you have the chef come out?" And he will come out and he will have a conversation with you
I've
about
met a
your
chef
food.
or two because I was like, I want this, but I want you to take this out and put this
And
in.
she's constantly,
And
and she's one of those people.
I
You are
not all the time.
most of the time.
I don't mean. Well, you know what? I would say this.
I just wanted to try that here.
I will say this. Being here in South Africa affords you things you know you couldn't. Like I know for a
You
fact.
couldn't, and you wouldn't, and you
I
couldn't,
would-
and you wouldn't.
Right. Like if
Yeah.
I know I didn't want something on the plate and they were like, no, this how it come, no substitutions, like
Yeah.
stuff like that. Here I don't have those problems, so I'm free to kind of say, hey, can you make it like this? When it comes to the food, which is great for me. I don't abuse it. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But to his point, if you come up here, you don't have to worry about anything down here.
Yeah.
And that's really what it's about. Coming in on a level that the things that you think you have to worry about are not worries. And that's why coming with us, we're putting you in places where load shedding isn't a problem. What you're going to eat isn't a problem. Where you're going to go isn't a problem. How you're going to get there isn't a
Not a
problem.
problem.
Who's taking you isn't a problem. Is it safe is not a problem. You don't have to worry about any of those things because we've already done all the work. We know where we're taking you to. We've vetted all these places. Like, just leverage that and book with us. Just leverage it.
Yeah.
And book a trip.
Yeah. You know, it was funny, and I just wanted to add this to the conversation. I think it's a good conversation to be having. You know, we want to be held in high regard. We're black people. I'm just going to say it in America. We want to be held in high regard, but again, if they never see you, it's kind of hard for them to hold you in high regard. And then when you show up, they don't really know much about you besides what they see on TV. So they might spit a whole bunch of verbiage they heard from TV, and dot dot dot, and you're like, I don't talk like that. I'm from Jersey, you know. You know what I'm saying? So, in short, what I'm trying to say to you is this: you know, you are held in high regard, especially when you come with the real South African, because when you walk through the door and they're like, oh, okay, you're with the real South Africa, and things. This is how they treat you. You ready? It's like this.
Yeah.
It's literally like this when you walk through the door. Should I try that again? That was pretty cool. But anyway, and you get that VIP treatment. And once you've been that route, you don't want to go any other route. Trust me, you just don't. And we see people all the time that come here, and then when they come back, they are expecting to be treated like VIPs, and you should. Come on, man, you literally flew 14, 15 hours on a plane. Why would you want to come here
and struggle?
Yeah, get in. I hate to say it, get in the back of a car that isn't that nice. Have to put your bags and manhandle your bags everywhere, and then go to a hotel room that isn't that nice. 14, 15 hours, and especially especially if you brought your significant other. I mean, you want them to be taken care of too. And this might be the trip of a lifetime for you. I would say take advantage of it. I mean, while the getting is good, you know. And I just want to say this. Somebody said to me, "How about them Cowboys?" Oh
Oh wow, that's hilarious.
yeah, I just had to put that on the screen. I thought that was hilarious. I'm about to go into my inner Stephen A. Smith.
No,
Is
please.
Stephen A. Smith? Yeah, Stephen A.
Yes,
Smith.
please. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm about to go into my inner Stephen A. Smith, but I'm gonna let it go because I know he's a big fan of the Dallas Cowboys
That's hilarious.
Cowgirls. But yeah, but yeah, if you have any questions, just let us know. It's pretty interesting sometimes when we see people that are traveling to other non African nations, expecting the most. Some of those people ultimately end up, you know, they do the okay. I'm gonna go ahead and come to Johannesburg or South Africa,
You're like,
as if that's what we want you to do.
yeah,
That's your choice.
yeah,
The good part about that part is that we're already here. We enjoy these things daily. Daily. Like today, we was out at Zoo Lake in Johannesburg, and of course, people from Johannesburg knows exactly what it is. I had an amazing steak. Tasha had a nice fish. There was ducks and swans and stuff walking
Mhm.
around. People were on the water, just doing their thing, and that's just a basic Sunday. A basic Sunday. That's just what we do.
yeah.
Yeah. So again, we do our best to make sure that your experience is amazing. It needs to be. I'm the owner of the company, and I need for your experience to be amazing. You coming all this way, and I know what we get told. Do not come to
To
Africa.
Africa.
Whatever you do, unfortunately, South Africans, y'all don't realize the level of indoctrination that we get told from our parents, from grandparents, from the
This little,
schools to
yeah.
everywhere. And I understand when our South African friends are like, "Oh, well, what about the internet? Well, they should just look it up." Again, I'm going to say it again. There's no reason to look up South Africa. Why would I? I mean, you get the thought has to come in your head, and South Africa is not living in most people's heads because we're not marketed to. I mean, like for example, from the tourism perspective, I know they market to Europe heavily.
In China.
In China, the South African tourism is marketed, and they need to continue to market and get that money brought into this country. Do they market to America? No, I don't know the whole thing, but that's okay. If they're not going to do it, then we, just like Americans generally do, as Black Americans, we do it ourselves. And that's what we decided that we were going to do. We were going to do it ourselves. And we've been extremely successful. Tawani is extremely successful. Ashley is doing her thing, bringing opportunities to people so they can, look at life changing opportunities because the opportunities aren't there in America. They're just not there. They're there. They just out of reach for us. There's like it's difficult. So with that being said, the opportunities are here. We see them. We're here every day. And with that being said, we're gonna leave it there. Is there anything else you want to add, Tasha?
No, come to South Africa. I'm always gonna say that. I think you should be here now.
Now, now.
You
Y'all don't even know what now
should
means.
be here now, and just now.
Yeah. So all I can say is we will see you guys in what we like to call sunny South Africa.